Hi guys, just a quick tutorial here of how to get more realistic looking faces for about 5 minutes extra work. So we start off here with a Wraithbone undercoat and just a liberal application of Gulliman flesh or dark earth flesh, either will do. Make sure you use this time to control the cooling of the paint while it's still wet and get the shadows exactly where you need them. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I just want to explain colour zones for a few moments. These are not my original works, so I've left the artist's credited at the bottom. So as you can see by the first example, these are broken down into three main colours of yellow, red and blue, and as the example states, this largely depends on how much blood, bone, muscle or veins and hair are present. As you can see by this second example, this can be broken down even further, but since the miniatures we're painting are so small, the only thing that I really used from the second example is eye sockets. I add the blue to the eye sockets due to, you know, bags under eyes, things like that. It really does add that extra effect. Right, so we'll be using Drakenhof Nightshade here, straight from the bottle, and we'll just apply this to the areas shown in the examples that were blue. This is mainly to represent stubble, as I say, veins, bags under eyes, things as such. I just want to state at this point, it is easy to overdo this, as whilst still wet the shades are a lot more subtle than once they've dried. You'll see an example of this by the end of the video. Whilst the miniature is still wet, you won't notice that much of a difference. Once it has dried, those shades really do come through. So it will take a little bit of a practice on this if you have some spare heads or a miniature that's not important to you. So moving on to the yellow areas here, we'll be using Seraphim Sepia, as we're wanting to use desaturated or dull tones to not overpower the flesh tones. And finally onto red tone. I'm using the Army Painter Quick Shade red tone here. It's the exact same tone as Carisborg Crimson if you're using the Citadel range. I've just run out. Just an extra note on that actually. I love both of these for different reasons. The Army Painter tones match colour for colour most of the Citadel. They are slightly thicker, whereas the Citadel ones are a lot more waterier, a lot more thinned down. So I mean, they're both useful in their own ways for totally different things, so that's something I just wanted to add that. So that pretty much concludes this tutorial altogether. As I said, this was just a 5-minute step to add a little bit more variation and realism to your faces, or the faces of your miniatures. One thing I will add is if you don't use Lamium medium or the technical, you can use contrast medium with the shades, you can use glaze mediums, whatever medium you're using. If you don't use the medium, then you will suffer some staining. Ordinarily, in every other situation, I don't like that, and that's why I'll use a medium. In this case, I've decided to leave it on because, as you can see by the finished result, once that has dried and stained a little bit, you will notice that those look like nicks and cuts and bruises and things, which I think adds to the overall effect. If you don't want that effect, simply add a medium. So that pretty much concludes this tutorial. Thanks for staying with me. The next tutorial I'll be doing will be the Primaris Captain out of the Dark Imperium box set, so hopefully see you for that.